Welcome to the Clydesdale Media Roundtable. I am Scott. I'm your host. My co-hosts are Kat Shear, Amy Radowski, and Charlie Odie. We are going into week 4 of the semifinals, and Dave Castro's back.
I'm stoked.
What?
I'm stoked.
I called it.
I'm shocked.
Me too.
I mean, I'm excited, but I'm shocked.
Yeah.
But you know what? I never thought Greg Glassman would sell CrossFit either. This is just as shocking to me that Dave is back.
I still think Greg is pretty close in on things because I think Greg and Dave are real close.
Well, maybe what's going to happen is what we've all been talking about is that the games and the health and affiliates are going to just sort of part ways.
Yeah, there's not a lot of confirmation that this actually happened other than some affiliate owners kind of confirming it. One was willing to be named, one was not.
Diablo CrossFit.
Diablo
Craig
CrossFit
Howard
was named.
Mm-hmm.
And they said that he's coming back in more of an affiliate role, will not be part of the games this year.
But he'll be at that affiliate thing that they have at the games probably.
The affiliate lounge.
Right? If he's doing stuff with the affiliates, you would think so. I wonder if he's going to influence the programming, like the cap stuff, the hand plan.
I hope so.
Same. Sorry.
I'm not a fan of it.
I'm not a fan of it either. Not for $150 a month. I'm not a fan for it. I can go on pushjerk.com and get really good workouts for free.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's interesting. I'm excited.
I'm excited.
We should try to talk to him about it.
Yeah.
Should.
Kat, why don't you just slide in those DMs?
I'll reach out.
Since you guys are buds.
I will do that. For sure.
Yeah. I'd like to know more. It just seems kind of vague at this moment, and CrossFit still has not confirmed it, just to put it out there.
But I'm loving the memes.
The memes are great.
Yeah.
So Charlie, you say you called it?
I did. It was on an episode too.
What did you say?
He'll be back.
It's pretty profound.
It was. Now
Charlie
look,
is our
right.
own Nostradamus.
That's right.
Well, I'm just curious how him and Justin would interact together. I wonder if there's bad blood there.
Yeah, I don't
he has
know.
his job now.
Well, I don't know if Dave has resentment, about that it's Justin doing it. I mean, I know Justin's always been involved, but
It's got to sting a little bit. I would imagine.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, got to sting.
And especially because I bet he's watching things going, oh yeah, that's a screw up.
As long as Justin's not his boss, I think he'd be okay. That would be weird.
Yeah.
It's got to be weird knowing that the guy who invented this thing that you're running is walking around the building.
Yeah.
Not part of what
no
he
matter
invented.
whatever title they give him.
Right.
He's hanging out and people can ask him questions.
I wonder if sort of the affiliate home base will go back to California, like to Santa Cruz area.
Yeah.
Because I don't see Dave moving to Denver or Boulder or wherever they all are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'd be great to find out.
Well, they sold the building.
Yeah, but I mean, the ranch could do something about it. Like he could maybe have an office out at the ranch.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, we talked about, Dallas is asking us if we noticed how Chloe Wilson's lowest finish was 7th and she still didn't qualify. We were saying, or somebody was saying, all you have to do is stay in the top 8 over the weekend and you're guaranteed a spot. That did not happen.
Yeah.
And I think it was because of the polarity of some of the workouts. You know, you got a lot of shifting of the points, the way the points are done. Did you see like the Z-score stuff that Taylor did?
Mm-mm.
And Taylor Watkins did. He had like Colton not making it if the Z-score was in place, and maybe Chloe making it if the Z-score was in place. Daniel Brandon maybe getting like 5th or 4th instead of 2nd because of it. I don't know.
Wow.
But do we want to talk about that video
Yeah.
the photographer posted? Or
That's down. That's not out anymore.
Yeah, so there was a video, a slow motion, you know, like a thirst trap video of Danny and some other athletes going through one of the workouts. And it was, you know, it was well done. It was in slow motion. Like the quality was great. This guy, the photographer, you know, super talented. And he put it to some really cool music, but it was her doing burpees over the line. And in no instance did her chest hit the ground during the burpees. And he posted it and people went apeshit because she didn't get no repped on the burpees. Now, Hiller did a video about it. Everyone was, you know, we were all circling around talking about it, sending it to each other and discussing. And then it was since taken down, which, you know, that wasn't something that Danny, you know, produced.
She didn't post it.
Danny didn't post it. Just like if I take a picture of an athlete that I just take the picture and tag the person, right? If they think it's a shitty picture, you know, they could come back and tell me like, hey, I don't like that picture of me. I didn't give you permission to use it. You know, well, they probably sign a release saying that I can use it anyway. But if someone told me to take down a picture, like I definitely would. I also think I'd have sense enough to not post a picture that, you know, was not very flattering. I've had pictures of Mal O'Brien from the games last year that I thought were super cool, but it's a sequence of her taking off her shirt.
I remember, yeah.
And they're so cool. And I want to post them so badly, but because she was like just 18 and there was something morally that I felt like I couldn't, because I felt like other people might react to it in a weird way. And I didn't want it to get that kind of attention. So I didn't post it, right? I mean, you kind of, as someone in the media, you have to sort of consider what you're exposing, you know, these athletes to by posting what you post. So I think it was a super bonehead move for the photographer to post that, because anybody that knows anything about CrossFit would know that that was not a good representation of her movement, even though it was like a super sexy video and it was cool.
If you go back and look at that photographer's page, it seems he does have a crush on Danny. I mean, he seems to feature her a lot.
Right. And I mean,
question is, what is his experience with CrossFit? Does he know that those aren't no reps?
Right. I don't know, but a big mistake on his part.
Right.
Big mistake on his part. And, you know, clearly he took it down. I don't know if, you know, Danny saw it and was furious about it. I don't know if CrossFit knows who he is, or if, you know, event coordinators now are not going to want him on their media teams. I don't know, but it's unfortunate, because it's unfortunate he didn't have somebody, you know, just tap him on the shoulder before it got posted to be like, yo, dude,
yeah,
no bueno on the video, please. Because I'm sure he got other footage, but now he's kind of like, he's probably not, you know, Danny's probably said, don't ever post anything about me again. You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's unfortunate. And you know what? I don't think, like, this is not the time to start blaming the judges and, you know, the judges suck and all that. I don't think that's the case. That's very hard to tell, you know, unless you're down on the ground.
And we talked about it at one of our end taps that they were like, the judges were almost like butt to butt, you know.
Right. Yeah. They couldn't go down on the ground even if they wanted to. There was no room for them to do that unless they were lying parallel to the athlete.
Yeah.
Which would have looked really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they were just put in a bad position. But I noticed that technique of like the worm, like worming the burpee and like starting, I guess, at your chest and coming down into your hips and coming up is a very common, like I know Katrin does it a lot. Mm-hmm. I bet you Mal probably does it too. Because I think Matt and Tia do it. But again, you just have to be careful. And, you know, now it's going to be one of those things where anybody that's doing burpees in a competition, everyone's going to be wondering, you know, whether they're good reps or not.
Well, that's why you need to have clear expectation of what is the standard.
Right. And a good view of what you're judging. Right.
Yeah. So Dave Castro just 19 minutes ago posted. Did you guys see this?
No.
No.
Okay.
No, what do you post?
Well, he said had fun with a bunch of Austin affiliates who just came to CrossFit Cedar Park for a meetup and discussion. Thanks to CrossFit affiliates area rep for organizing and blah 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 hosting, and then lots of other people commenting, "Hey, thanks for coming back. So glad you're back." And these are other affiliates that are saying, "Glad to have you back on the team." So, now Dave's making more, kind of confirming these things. It feels like. So
I saw him. He's an ambassador for dog food. Where did I see this? Who did I send it to? I sent it to somebody.
yeah, so I mean, he's sharing these things on his page that he's meeting with the affiliates. So we'll see. Maybe HQ will come out and say something. Probably not.
No.
Yeah, interesting.
I did want to go back to judging real quick because I jumped into some comments on Hiller's video about it.
Mm-hmm.
And the point I was trying to make, and I think it got lost on some people, and I did
what
not respond to them.
What video is this, Scott?
The Danny Spiegel burpee video.
Okay.
I made the comment that being there, I know some of the judges. A lot of the judges that I came up with were moved into leadership positions for the first time at Granite Games, because they had a community event going alongside the main event. And so they needed tons of team leads, tons of head judges. One of our good friends, Kevin, was the director of judging. He's never held that position before. So it was crazy. And the people were commenting. I was over on the community side, and there was no better judging over there. I didn't say that the good judges went to the community side. I said they were moved to leadership positions, leaving the pool pretty dry for experienced judges out on the floor, period.
Right.
At both of the events.
And some of the usual suspects were at a wedding last weekend. Couldn't even make it to the Granite Games, which, live your life, right? Like, I'm not saying.
Well, and some couldn't do 3 weeks in a row. I mean,
right. 3 weeks in a row is a lot to do. And some of them just had other plans. So you didn't see some of the usual suspects that you see in those leadership positions were absent as well, which again, I'm not sure how it affected. I wasn't there, but I've also heard of judges commenting that, they wish they had more help. So they were probably a little bit overworked, perhaps.
100% and totally. I mean, how can you expect volunteers to pay for their travel and to do this 3 weeks in a row? I mean, most of these volunteers have jobs and need to be there and don't have. I don't know.
Yeah, you need to have a job to be able to afford to do it all, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough. Well, I know at Masters Fitness Collective coming up October 21st through the 23rd in Fort Wayne, Indiana, we are looking for judges, and we are actually paying lodging for our judges.
Well, look at that. That's a nice.
And we're giving them some really nice swag. And if you've judged there before, you know that we take very good care of the staff and the volunteers. We are very generous with what we provide to them. So if you're looking to get your judging on and you want to judge some old people in Fort Wayne, Indiana, October 21st through the 23rd, go to their Instagram and sign up to be a volunteer.
And I think by old, you mean mature, very fit athletes.
I said what I said. Yes, old. So, good segue. Speaking of old.
Okay.
Your girl had her second pole vaulting lesson yesterday.
I saw. And you said you pulled some hammy?
Some?
All of them.
All of them. So I am the true weekend warrior. Let's just get it out there right now. Like I did the open, right? I did 22.3. When was that? Middle of March?
Yep.
Middle of March. Since then, it's June 12th, June 11th, whatever, June 9th. Since then, since 22.3, I've done one CrossFit workout.
Which was half Murph.
I only ran up. Nope. I did one workout, one CrossFit workout. I took one pole vaulting lesson. I ran I shuffled a mile for Murph. and I had a second pole vaulting class. That's it. That's the activity that aside from coaching 8 million classes a week. So on my fourth thing that I did, my second pole vaulting class, first session, afterwards, super tight, like hip flexors, like could barely lift my legs, like just super tight, super sore, like in the front from like my knee all the way up to like my belly button, just really tight. Okay. Cause it's a running, you run, and then you jump, right? Your girl hasn't run in a while, but my shoulder really hurt, like scary hurt afterwards. And I was like, oh crap, I got to make sure, like I've had shoulder issues before and they're no fun. And so when I go to my lesson yesterday, I spend so much time warming up my shoulders. It's not even funny. Like I'm taking big pole vaulting poles and using them like PVC pipes and doing pass-throughs and like front rack stretches, doing push-up to downward dog. I'm doing like arm circles. I'm like P90X, stirring the stew, all that for my shoulders, getting them all ready. I run like 90 seconds, do some spiders, and we start.
So no couch stretch, no hamstring stretch.
I did this last week. I ran last week, no problem. Just a little hip flexor stuff, no big deal. My shoulder hurt. Well, I'm warming up. I mean, we're doing like step plant with like a pole, not even running. My first plant, I like felt a little tweak in one of my hamstrings. I'm like, oh, that's weird. I'm like stretching it out, like doing whatever. We do a couple more stretches. It's still kind of tight. I do my first vault. Both of them go. Like I land on the mat and I have to like army crawl off the mat because my legs are like dead. I get up and I'm like, oh, I really like did something to my hamstrings. And he's like, oh, take your time, stretch. So I'm like stretching out. It's not getting any better. They're just like cramping up. I do another vault. This time, I don't know what happens, but my right hip, it's my right adductor. So like deep groin stuff happening on fire. Like can't lift up my leg. I'm like, what the hell have I done? And I'm sure I just did that because my hamstrings were all jacked up and I'm trying to run, like whatever. So it took me an hour to get there. I pay like $100 to do it and I have to drive another hour to get home. Damn it if I was not stopping. Like I got like 3 vaults in and I was like, I'm not ready to be finished. So I just kept going. And every time, like, and I wouldn't feel it when I ran. Like it didn't hurt when I ran, but soon as I came through and landed, it was like, whoosh, and I'd have to literally army crawl off the mat, rest like another 10 minutes, and then go again. Eliana came with me. She drove me home. I like whimpered in the back seat all the way home. Couldn't get comfortable at all. I took a muscle relaxer and a painkiller, drove myself to the gym.
How dare you drive after you take that?
I took it and drove right away. Like I didn't let it like, sink in. I get here, I coach 2 classes and a personal training session. In between classes, I like just put my head down on the gym floor and like pass out for a second. Go home, another muscle relaxer, another painkiller, jump in the shower, go right to bed. This morning, I'm tender. I cannot move around very well. And then I proceeded to go to my PT and I got dry needling in all of those places. And let me tell you, dry needling in your adductor and in your hamstrings, not fun. Don't recommend. 0 out of 0.
But did it help?
I think so. Yeah.
So
I mean, I'll know better later. I'm gonna
recommend.
soak in the tub later and see how we do. But I can't like pick anything up off the floor. I look ridiculous. I have to like go up onto my toes and like bend my knees.
So here's what I'm gathering from that. There's some important pieces in there. I'm feeling that what we need to bring back to this podcast and this podcast group is fitness.
Yes, agreed.
Because we're Clydesdale Fitness and Friends, and I know Mr. Mobility over here is suffering for an injury, and Scott's been traveling, so I don't know if he's been doing any fitness, but we all need to get on that fitness train.
Yeah, we need our morning reminders. I need I'm looking for a couch to sprinter program.
Okay.
Couch to 5K. Couch to sprinter, because all I need to do is sprint like 50 yards. So I need to find, if anyone has one of those, hook me up. My next lesson is 3 weeks away, so I'm spacing it out a little bit. I'm going to give my one week to recover, and then 2 weeks to do like a little bit of stuff to get me built up for the sprints.
Uh-huh. So Charlie, let's review your injury.
My injury
We
is
got-
a normal injury of low back from poor positioning and poor mobility.
So
And
how,
Was this a particular movement, particular workout, or was like
Not really.
No?
No, just picking up cleans incorrectly.
Okay, so a heavy barbell from the ground.
Yes.
Okay.
And it was,
Fair enough.
I felt it early and I said, I'm going to go ahead and shut this down, which probably is good because normally I'd have kept going and been worse.
Are you a early arm bender?
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna guess that you are. Yes. Okay.
I'm an early arm bender, catch on your toes, don't hit your chest on the front rack. I'm all these things.
how does your warm up go?
The warm up, what's that?
Amy's like covered her face.
You know what would be really cool is if we had a tool that you could use to increase your mobility.
I know it. It would be great to have one of those. And then someone do it for you. It would be even better.
That's the key.
Okay, here's going to be our morning text. Guys, go work out. Charlie, do mobility.
Yeah. Cat, warm up your hammies.
MobilityMVMNT.com.
Everybody gets a 7-day trial. After that, our listeners, subscribers, get 1 month free at Clydesdale free month at mobilitymvmnt.com.
Clydesdale free month. That's your discount code. Free month.
Yeah.
Free. I like free stuff.
Well, you have to access and use them if you're going to have free stuff, Charlie.
This is true.
Mm-hmm.
I like pizza too.
So Scott, let's talk about your fitness. When are you going to get fitness?
Well, I did a lot of stadium stairs.
Okay.
Over the weekend, and I've been a zombie all week, but I am going to be getting back at this. I'm going to do some light work in the garage, and then Monday get back to full go.
That's my goal. My goal is Monday to do my own stuff. I did bike today for a little bit, like a C2 bike, maybe 4,000 meters, like 2 different times, just while people were warming up, just to stay loose.
Yeah, good.
Stay loose.
I think the bike's one of the best tools you can use, especially just for movement and
right. Just get the motion and the lotion.
I do have to say, since we're talking lack of fitness, I did get home and there were crumble cookies in my house.
Oh.
How? What?
And the crumble cookie flavor of pancake.
Oh, yeah.
Maple pancake.
Is this like a monthly special?
They change them every week. People are even answering for me. Yeah. Have you ever had the maple pancake?
I've had the waffle.
No.
Same deal. Delish.
So good.
And
snickerdoodle cupcake. Those two have jumped to the front of my list.
How was the oatmeal? Did you have the oatmeal?
I did.
I
only had a quarter of each one of these.
Cookie?
Just so you know.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
The iced oatmeal, phenomenal.
I got news for you.
Always a winner.
If I had some extra money lying around, I would open up a crumble cookie around here. We do not have one closer than like an hour and a half away. And I swear to you, I would open one up because it would make a killing.
Put it right in your gym. A little bit of butter.
Yeah.
I probably could.
That'd be good for both businesses. right next door.
And just to answer Dallas, I would love to go to Atlas.
We would all love to go to Atlas.
It's just I do not have a valid passport at this moment.
Neither do I.
Or I would have went up.
Charlie, you're not allowed to go. You can't get back.
Charlie doesn't have the health credentials to go.
Yes. I do.
And,
I don't have the financials.
And Carolyn Prevost gave me crap about not having a valid passport.
Well, that's fair if you're in media.
I don't know. When was the last time you used your passport? Here's a good fun little question. When was the last time you used your passport?
February.
Scott, you go first.
Okay, sorry.
Scott.
I have never used my passport.
Okay. So no wonder you don't have it updated because you've never used it. Amy. Amy, when did you last use your passport?
February of 2020.
Oh, really? Where'd you
Yeah.
go?
Italy. I came back right before COVID shut down the world.
Wow. You brought it with you, maybe.
I did. I thought I had it, but I didn't.
You didn't test
Interesting.
yourself.
I did. I told you I had my antibodies test afterwards, and I'd never.
It's like 6 months later.
No, I didn't.
Yep. We're gonna fight again.
Well,
Okay.
Well,
my last trip where I used my passport was probably 2007 or 8 or not 2010. I went to the Philippines for work. I've been there a bunch of times. The only reason I got a passport, I think, was because of those trips.
Charlie?
Never used your passport?
Yes.
Oh, probably 9 years ago.
2018.
Amy.
Or what?
We went to Punta Cana.
Oh yeah. That's right. That's right.
You need a passport for Punta Cana?
I mean, it's the DR.
Yeah.
Is it? Oh yeah, I guess so. I've only been to like Puerto Rico down there, and that's you don't need a passport for that.
Yeah.
When I was a
long time
kid,
ago, too.
we went to Canada all the time, and all you needed was a driver's license.
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember that.
those are the good old days.
Yeah.
Remember, you didn't have to take your shoes off to get on an airplane. Let's talk about that for a second.
Okay.
Why
Yeah,
is that
let's,
still a
because
thing?
that my daughter went
Why
on
is
a rant.
that still a thing?
I don't know. We need TSA to get on here. Is there any TSA people that can talk to us?
I mean, super annoying.
It is.
Super annoying.
It just
So,
holds up the line.
Let me put some reality around this. So Monday morning at 5 a.m., I get to the Minneapolis airport. They have a TSA on one side of the airport and a TSA on the other. The lines were so long, they crossed.
Unreal.
What is the deal? We have not had plane issues in a very, very long time. Now, one
So
could
as you say
argue that the reason we don't have the plane issues is because of the TSA.
It is not because of them checking shoes. Guaranteed.
Yeah, I'd like to
Don't
see
know.
the data of how many shoes they check versus what they find and stop
Yeah.
out of the shoe checking.
Do you know what I
we only got
saw?
to find one.
Do you know? I saw something. Where were we? Where was I last?
Canada.
Where'd I fly? Tennessee. I was coming out of Knoxville, and the TSA in the line, they had these like homemade signs with photographs of weapons, and it would say like on March 12th, 2022, Officer XYZ from TSA prevented this weapon from getting on your flight. It was like, okay.
Right.
Very odd. Like, why are you trying to scare me with this? I thought that was. Did you notice that when you left Knoxville?
I drove.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So airport. Yeah, it was weird. Super weird. I was like, okay. Congratulations. No. Why do I have to take my shoes off?
Yeah, my
get it.
daughter went on a diatribe when I got back from Minnesota talking about how long the lines were. Now, thank goodness I was first class and got to skip all that. But
But like, even if like you're wearing a hat or you have a sweater on or something, like you have to take it off. Like what you get your DNA gets scanned every time you go through that little thing. Like, aren't they going to see, the weapon you have under your ball cap or whatever you're hiding in your sweater? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. Why do my pockets have to be empty? Why can't I have a dollar bill in my pocket? What difference does it make?
yeah, her argument was to take some of the money for TSA and put towards school safety.
Yeah, there you go. All right, sorry, super annoying, but
Yeah.
moving
But
on. Are we
All right,
doing
moving-
Are we doing
moving on.
picks for this weekend?
We did.
But I mean, like, not draft picks. Like, who do we think top 5?
Okay.
We don't have to. Just saying.
Oh, I
Do we
just
think-
go ahead.
Do we think Katrina's gonna do well this weekend?
I think yes, because I think where she's training.
You think that's okay?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm undecided. I am cautiously.
Although she's on the older end.
She is.
Depends on her judge.
Damn, you went there.
It's a
Well,
good
let's
point,
be
though.
honest. Her videos from last year's online competition were suspect at
True.
at the very least.
Right.
And I know we're a news show, but this show is an opinion show. And I think her fitness has fallen, and she's trying to cut where she can range of motion to assist her. And it's going to depend on her judge.
Interesting.
I think Sam Briggs has a better shot than she does.
Ooh, bold statement.
I
Interesting.
like it though. I like it.
You know why she has a better shot? Because she got Fantasy Fitness and put her at $10.
And I used it.
I still have to do that. Is that too late to do? I can still do that
Chip
now.
on her shoulder.
The
She's
salary
covered.
cap is still open
Okay, until Strength and Depth starts.
till tonight, I think.
Yeah.
They close it like a little bit early, but plus, if you look at the workouts, they're kind of Sam Briggs workouts, and her movement patterns are awesome.
Yeah, she doesn't get no rep. She wouldn't need to get no rep. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see like how her training and like her relationship with Brooks, like, you know, has that been a distraction for her, or has that been like a enhancement for her? I want to know when we're going to find out what happened with Chandler Smith.
Well, before we jump on that, she does have a better shot than I thought originally because Emma Tall is not competing.
Which is
Which
nonsense.
stinks.
Sorry about that, Charlie.
I should get an IR pick.
Well,
Amy
if you
didn't
get an IR pick,
pick.
I should get a pick. I didn't get shit.
We gotta show up.
Well, I had things. Family dinner, sushi. Can't, I'm not passing that up.
Whoa.
That was the other thing. Speaking of sushi, the other thing that my pole vaulting coach told me in not so many words was that height and weight are very important in pole vaulting, and the taller you are and the less you weigh. And I was like, "You trying to tell me something?" Because I'm fat too. But hey, motivation is motivation. Whatever I need to do.
When you can't get taller, so
Can't get
Right.
taller. I could get a little smaller, a little lighter, maybe a little lighter on my feet. Help me jump higher. Sushi
is
doesn't.
Daniel Brandon that tall?
Brandon?
Maybe.
Yeah, she's
she's
tall.
She's like 5'5".
I think she's taller.
5'5".
Yeah, I think she's 5'6", 5'7".
Oh
not
wait,
tall
I'm
either.
sorry. Danielle Brandon or Danny Spiegel?
Daniel Brandon.
Brandon.
Sorry, I had Spiegel on the brain. Danny Spiegel's not that tall. Danielle Brandon's probably like 5'7", 5'8".
Okay.
Here, I'll look.
Yeah, she's almost as tall as I am.
Which means what?
She's definitely tall
5'10",
for a, like good
5'11".
for a pole vaulter.
In the program or real life? Program height's always different.
Brandon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Program
Nate
was
was like
6 foot,
6'2" in his football program. I was like, really? With cleats?
Yeah.
That's 5'11". What did it do?
Yeah. Braden's 5'11" too. He's not really 5'11".
6'1" in the church league.
She's 170 centimeters. It's so annoying.
What? It's America.
Yeah, what is that?
The cross.
Do you know what's interesting, guys? I'm gonna share my screen. I'm gonna show you something. This is cool. I discovered this the other day. I don't know that anybody ever looks at this, but see my screen?
Yep.
So first of all, this cracks me up.
I know.
That's her profile picture. Oh my god. She's been at the games 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. She got cut that first year.
Oh, she was in 19 and then 20 to like the first stage of the 2020 and then the real deal last year. Anyway, so it says she's 170 centimeters. Look at this thing.
Yeah.
CrossFit ID.
Yeah.
This is like this is a sequential number, by the way. So like if your number's like 2,300,000 and whatever, that
Mhm.
means like you just started doing the open,
Yeah.
right? And if it's 1,000, whatever, it's mine. I have mine written down somewhere. So she's 349,000. That's pretty low in the grand scheme of things. But if you look at somebody like here, I'll show you.
Let's look
Let's
at
look up-
ourselves.
Let's look up Rebecca Voigt. Right? She's like
Yeah.
a definite OG. See if she comes up here. Come on. Dun, 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 dun. Rebecca Voigt Miller. 8,015. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
All right. So you want to see what we are?
Yeah.
So like
Okay.
Annie be like 2.
Annie's actually not, she's like 9,000 something. I already looked her up. I think it depends on like when you were first like in the system too, because there are some OGs that have like a big number also. People that like may have changed their name, something like that. I'm 301,000. Right?
Yeah.
Look at that. 5'2", 148. Haha. That's funny. It's like my driver's license. All right, sorry. Let's go back. Amy Rodolski. Ooh, 263,050.
Yeah.
You've done 9 cross. So you registered before me, but in that year where
Yeah.
everybody registered, right? It just
Yeah.
kind of depends on where you fall in the thing. But you take some of these like
Yeah, that's interesting.
some of these rookie people, like name somebody who like just kind of came on the scene that we've
James
interviewed
Sprague.
maybe. Well, no, but he's been around for a bit because he was in the teen stuff. How about like Carrie Pierce? Because she started in like 2016.
How about that Wilson?
Oh, Carrie Pierce isn't even in here. Isn't that sad?
Oh,
Like,
they don't take them away, really?
no, but well, they don't let you find them if they're not like active, I don't think. Who is Jack Farlow?
The Wilson girl?
Chloe Wilson.
Oh, yeah.
This is fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
She's like 2 years.
So now I'm basically just like judging people based on how big their number is. 867, 741. So he's been around a while too. 6 opens. We need to find someone who's only been to like 2 opens.
This year.
Who are some people? Why can't I think? Guys, we've interviewed all these people.
But all the people I've interviewed have been doing it for a long time.
Me too. It's like I was at Granite Games in 2012. What? You went 4.
All right, well, I'll stop sharing because this is boring now.
Okay.
But anyway,
Well, that's cool. Yeah.
that was interesting. I just thought it was interesting. So now when we look up people, I'm now judging you by your number. The lower the number you are, the more legitimate
like
of an OG you are. I tried to look up like Miko Salo or somebody, you know, like and they didn't come up in the thing. It must have been before the, you know what I mean? Like the open was what it was.
Okay.
I think Chloe Wilson got 6 at South Regionals. Is that the same girl? Yes. Yes, TC, that is the same girl. Same girl.
My ID is 131,000.
131? Nice. You must have signed up early.
2013. 10 straight years. And still a level 1.
Still a level 1.
So Murph comes and gets me, or whoever's here, every day at 4 p.m. to eat. So that's what I had to go do. She's been close.
Yeah, she's been very close so many times.
Yeah.
And if you watch the most recent Buttery Bros video, it looks like she's not super inclined to do the last chance qualifier.
Yeah, what's that all about?
And that they're trying to get people to send her stuff to motivate her to do it.
Aww.
That's a spur of the moment
Yeah.
decision.
You guys need to have her on the show.
Yeah.
Didn't we interview her?
I don't know if we did Chloe or not.
Well, here's the deal. Let's see. I thought I did a thing for her. Chloe.
Yeah.
It's just one big
So-
number.
Let's get her
No,
anyway.
here. I reached out to her on March 27th and said, would love to get you on our podcast. and I got no response. And then on May 17th, I also reached out to her telling her who I was and that we were doing a series on Meet the Semifinalists, and she never responded. So we have done our best to try to get her on the show. She is either not interested or she doesn't read her DMs from people that she doesn't follow, which is fair.
Mhm.
But that's kind of the only way we get to reach out to people if we don't have their email address.
I'll get her on.
Okay.
So TC, tell your girl to respond to our DMs, and we would love to have her on.
Maybe we can convince her to do it.
Yeah.
The online qualifier.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, folks.
Yeah.
Yep. Time to coach.
Yep. Time to go.
Well, thank
do
you all
it.
for jumping on with us. It's been a blast. And can't wait to watch Atlas games this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. And strength and depth and Copacer. They're all gonna be fun.
Yeah, I just saw the Copacer workouts.
All right,
Yeah.
hang on for 1 second after we end the broadcast, guys. I want to say something.
Okay.
Everyone else can hear.
We'll see you next time on Clydesdale Fitness and Friends podcast. Bye.